Howdy, and welcome to Book Your Give Here. We're Travel That Gives. I'm Lulu Lima, your chief travel guru. I hope this episode of Dream Now Travel Later inspires you to travel, and I invite you to give us the opportunity to help plan your next memorable trip. So grab your popcorn and enjoy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Travel Thursday. I am super excited this afternoon to bring over a colleague of mine from Condor Travel, Sebastian, who is going to tell us all about Bolivia. Today, we're really going to learn about a very off the beaten path country because not everybody knows about it. And there's so many moving pieces, all the beautiful things that we're going to learn today. And for those of you guys who want to continue the conversation, please remember to text travel to 21,000, and I'm happy to do that. So with that, if you also have any questions, feel free to put them on the chat because we'll be here to answer them. So Sebastian, tell us a little bit about you and all of those moving pieces about Bolivia. I'm so excited.
Okay, hi Lulu, how are you? How are you guys? Watching this short presentation about Bolivia. As Lulu mentioned, my name is Sebastian. I work for Condor Travel Bolivia, mainly in the marketing and sales department. I do a little bit of everything actually in the office, a lot of product development. So I'm traveling a lot within the country. And regarding marketing, I do travel also abroad to tourism trade shows and so on. So that is a little bit my work within the office and within Condor Bolivia.
Awesome. And so let's talk a little bit about Bolivia. And really, again, it's a hidden gem because it is surrounded by a number of different countries that have so much. But here we're really going to be talking about, not only the geography, but how easy it is to get to. You have a quite number of different flights straight into La Paz. And then even from La Paz to so many other destinations, you can even go into Santa Cruz or and really, access quite a bit.
That's it. As the slide says, Bolivia is like the heart of South America. And that is actually really good for us because due to lack of promotion from our governments, being in the middle of South America, it is our perfect chance to combine Bolivia with other countries, actually. I mean, I was doing statistics the other day, and around 80% of our bookings of our travelers coming to Bolivia are actually combining Bolivia with other countries. So with Peru, with the northern part of Chile, northern part of Argentina, and some of them even with Brazil. So that is why it is really important that Bolivia is in the heart of South America. We do have some international flights, not as many as our neighboring countries. For example, flying to Lima, to Buenos Aires, to Sao Paulo is much more easier than to Bolivia. But we do have some international flights, many regional flights. We do have some flights from Santa Cruz to Miami, for example, and Santa Cruz to Panama, and even Santa Cruz to Madrid. So it is connected, not as well connected as we would like, but
we'll work on that.
It is a hidden gem, as you say. So
yes, absolutely. And so guys, as we do your South American adventures, when we do plan for anywhere from 10 to 14 days, we can easily put Bolivia in as part of or half of your stay if this is something that you certainly want to experience. Keep in mind that the dry season is April to November and your rainy season is December to March. But during the rainy season, can tourism still happen?
Yes, of course. I mean, 10, 12 years ago, we used to have these seasons really marked, During rainy season, there was zero business in general.
Okay.
10, 12 years ago, we have been becoming a lot of Japanese, in general, the Asian market. And mainly because they want to go to the saltflats, Uyuni saltflats, during rainy season. So you can travel to Bolivia the entire year round. It will depend what exactly are you planning to visit. No? If
Of
you go
course.
to the lowlands, tropical lowlands, perhaps
Yes.
it's so funny if it's raining, if you compare it with Uyuni, no?
Yes, of course. So let's talk about the tropical lowlands. You have the Madidi National Park here that you're showing off. So
Yeah, actually, as you could see in the map previously, 60% of our country is tropical lowlands. And many think, yeah, Bolivia is a highland country, but actually more of the territory is actually tropical lowlands. And for tourists that are willing to spend a couple of days more within Bolivia, we have on the tropical lowlands different national parks they could visit. Most of them are surrounding Santa Cruz. But for example, for our Only Bolivia program, which I will talk later on, starting in Santa Cruz in the tropical lowlands is a really good option due to the altitude, first of all, because Santa Cruz is located at only 400 meters above sea
okay.
level. And the highlands, for example, La Paz, where I live, is 3,600. So
That's a big difference. Absolutely.
tropical lowland, exactly. So we have plenty things to do, plenty of activities, bird watching tours, venturing into the jungle. It is amazing. I mean, this is a part of Bolivia that not many know, and probably not many knew it exists actually.
Yeah, I mean, it really is untouched territory. So
Yeah.
it's certainly an opportunity for you to enjoy nature and have a great experience like no other, right? So it's truly nature's preserve.
That's correct. That's correct.
So you also have a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and that's the Jesuit missions. Give us a
Exactly.
little bit about information about that.
We have actually within Bolivia many different UNESCO heritage sites, no? But I've mentioned this one because this is located also in the tropical lowlands near Santa Cruz. As you may know, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, they do have also Jesuit missions, but the ones that are within Bolivia are actually really well preserved. I mean, the other ones are more like ruins, but the ones we have, they belong to the UNESCO. And there are 7 different churches or 7 different towns where you can see this type of culture, of architecture. And to 2020, exactly this year, there was supposed to be a concerts. They do concerts, Baroque music, really beautiful, and it's every 2 years. So due to this coronavirus, I mean, I don't know if they are planning to do it later on this year, perhaps September, but if not, probably next year. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and we hope that for next year it'll be good. So I know that most American folks are looking to travel starting after September. That is what my guidance is, because that gives a lot of opportunity for all of the different countries to kind of figure out where they are with the COVID and kind of go from there in terms of any restrictions and things like that.
Okay.
One of the questions that does come up is, does Bolivia need a visa for American passports?
Not anymore. Not anymore. As you may also know, I mean, last year we had elections. There was a big mess going on, and we have now another government. And this government eliminated the visas for Americans.
So
great news for us.
So an awesome opportunity, and because it's also a cost-effective country, your dollar will also go a lot further.
Exactly. Not as further as in Argentina, but good here,
Of course. So now we're obviously we went from the tropical lowlands to now the valleys, and so and you've got so many different national parks within your country. And again, beautiful untouched landscapes.
That's correct. Again, if you look again at the map, we have in the middle of the country the valleys, which represent more or less 17-18% of the territory, and it's also beautiful. I mean, you have national parks, you have dinosaur footprints, you have colonial cities also. Sucre is one of those, which belongs also to UNESCO World Heritage. So it is like a great transition point from the lowlands to the highlands.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I see in this picture that you actually have dinosaur footprints. Are they real?
Yeah, of course they are real. I mean, that was a funny story. I went scouting, for new products. That was 4 or 5 years ago, actually. And we heard about this place, but me and our driver from the office, we couldn't find it. So we arrived at a small town, and the kids were playing at their school, and
Yes.
school was over. We talked to them, and they actually took us to this place, which we were looking for. So it was, and this is just outside Sucre. It's really
So really not only off the beaten path, but only something that the locals know about. So
many things, yeah.
yeah, so here's something that you guys, as we're planning your itineraries, you're going to see a lot of these things that you're going to need locals. I mean, locals like children, or even some of the adults in the area. Obviously, those are the ones that we work with. Really are going to show us a lot of that cultural immersion and things that nobody else is going to see. So. So a great opportunity here, when you have kids as well, great to travel with them so that they can also interact with other children throughout the different countries, especially in Bolivia, because that way there's an opportunity for them to maybe become, pen pals or internet pals of sorts, and really have that next level of connecting.
That's correct, yeah.
So we talked about Sucre being, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. So, and here's a great picture, of it, and you can see how well it's kept, and and again, all of the moving pieces, just so absolutely beautiful. Learning, this is truly a classroom that is live. That's
correct. I mean, Sucre is actually our capital city. Maybe not many of you knew that, but and Sucre is a really beautiful small town, perhaps 300,000 inhabitants, and it's a great place to stay at least for 2 nights. Sucre is located at 2,800 meters high, so coming from Santa Cruz, it is like a transition point, as I was saying you before. Yeah. And in Sucre you can do more traditional cultural visits, or a little bit more of adventure, a little bit of walking, hiking, trekking, So it is a great place to do some of the activities.
Absolutely. And talking about culture, here's an opportunity where you can actually learn to weave with the local women.
That's correct. That's just outside Sucre. The town where I took this picture is called Candelaria. And these are ladies that are weaving for centuries like that, and it's really interesting to see how they do it.
Yeah, and you learn how they make money, right? So, but anything that you purchase from them actually helps sustain them locally, because that's all about the sustainable travel. So you're helping them stay independent.
That's correct. Yeah.
So now we're going to move over to the highlands.
Yeah,
and you've got a beautiful water view right here, but you're in the middle of the country. Talk to us a little bit about the lake.
Well, Titicaca Lake is still one of our main attractions in general. We share the lake with Peru, so Peru has half of it, and we have the other half, and is 9 out of 10 people coming to Bolivia visit Titicaca Lake.
And can you do kayaking on it, or stand-up water paddling, or anything along those lines?
It is actually a really cold lake. I mean, Titicaca is at 3,800 meters high.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is quite cold. But there are some activities which I will show you a little bit further on also. You can do through us, no?
Of course.
It's a really, really beautiful place.
Awesome. And so here's a cable car that you can take in La Paz. So you can not only see, the city from above, but what mountain do you actually see at the top?
I mean, at the top of the cable car, I mean, the cable cars are going down right now. There is a city, actually. The city is called El Alto, where actually our airport is. So these cable cars were introduced in 2014 with 3 different lines, red, yellow, and green as our flag. But now we have 10 different lines. So they were supposed to, I mean, for avoiding a little bit traffic jams, but we use it for tourism, of course. Also,
it's a great way to have the tourists shuffle without having to create, or get stuck in traffic, and they get to see these beautiful sights.
Exactly. I mean, all of our travelers ride on one of the lines at one point of the trip.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so now we're moving over to the Royal Andes Range, where we're seeing some trekkers here.
Yeah, I mean, the Andes are really close to La Paz. You take the car about 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and you are already at some points where you can do. It depends on the type of adventure you want to do. No, you can do some easy hiking. Nevertheless, you are already basically at 4,000 meters high. But you can do trekking trips, camping. Llama trekkings. The llama take all your luggage with you. And mountaineering trips, which is a little bit more specific.
Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly something a little different. So now we're obviously going into local culture again, and we're touching upon your carnival, and so tell us a little bit about this specific carnival and the significance behind it.
Oruro, I mean, the Carnival of Oruro belongs also to UNESCO. As I was saying, we have many different UNESCO heritage sites or things, and this one, the Carnival, is also World Heritage. It takes place at the same time when the Carnival is held, for example, in Brazil. So the same dates,
Okay, so it's all about Carnival and certainly having a good time and celebration.
Dancing and appreciating culture, more than 30 different type of dances, of cultures in general. So it is really beautiful, really interesting. If you're planning, I believe next year is going to be in February. So if you're planning a trip within Bolivia and the dates are close to Carnival, I suggest going to Oruro, which is only 3 hours away from La Paz.
That's awesome. So now we're moving along, and we're in Hamana National Park. Samhama. Sorry, I mispronounced it. And so we've got these beautiful flamingos that we're seeing here, and obviously flamingos are, everyone in the U.S. always goes flamingos, Florida, but here you get to see flamingos, and you're in Bolivia. So here's an opportunity for, again, great bird watching among the mountains and amazing waters.
And adventure in general. No? You can do biking, hiking, trekking. Sajama is actually our highest mountain, 6,542 meters high. So you can do also mountaineering up to the top. So it is really beautiful. And as you say, the flamingos, they are all over the highlands, as we will see some pictures later on. Near Uyuni, the saltflats, there are also flamingos.
That's awesome. And so now talking about the Uyuni, we are now going into the saltflats. And so that's probably one of the most popular pieces of Bolivia that I'm aware of. So
it is the most.
Yeah, so I'd love to talk about what kind of experiences and what you're going to find in the salt flats.
I mean, Uyuni in general is amazing because you have around 12,000 square kilometers pure salt. It is actually bigger than Titicaca Lake, if you compare it. To give you an idea, more or less 4 times Uyuni salt flats is like the whole Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
So it is really huge. You are standing at some points, and on the horizon you only see white. So it is amazing. And as we were talking a little bit about in the beginning, you can go to uni the whole year round. This is a picture taken during dry season, where the salt flats are actually really wide. You can walk on them, you can bike on them, and there are many mountains, volcanoes surrounding the salt flats where you can do a little bit also of adventure, you know. But
Yeah.
also the rainy season, which is, I don't know if more amazing than the dry season, but it's really beautiful. I mean, the first picture we had when you introduced me, it was
Yeah.
during rainy season, and this is another one. I
And
mean,
so
it's amazing.
I moved over to the rainy season for Uni Salt Flats, so you can see how how beautiful and pristine it looks. So it's and it truly looks like it's just a picture of paradise.
No, it is amazing. It is amazing. And during rainy season, with our Asian market, Asian passengers, we have been running some special trips, you know, for sunset, for sunrise, for stargazing, you know. We give them always rubber boots, and they can go out to the salt flats and walk. And I mean, at night, it's like if they were walking on the stars, you know.
Kind of like this picture that we're looking at right now, right?
Yeah, this picture was taken during dry season, but imagine the same one with 2-3 centimeters of water and walking on the stars. It is really amazing.
That I can only imagine, and you get to live in that.
Well, I live in La Paz, but I travel twice.
A lot closer than I do.
I travel twice a year, or perhaps 3 times a year to uni. Yeah.
Okay, well that's awesome. So you also have here very colorful lagoons. What makes it colorful?
The colorful lagoons in general are in a region southern of Uyuni. It is a volcanic region. It's the way you want to cross if you're going to San Pedro de Atacama in Chile, the northern part of Chile. No?
Yes.
Actually are little small crabs that are red, and that is also why the flamingos are red. You know?
Yeah.
The red lagoon, but we have also a green lagoon, but it's because of minerals that is green.
Right. Oh wow! So awesome. I mean, you guys look at these beautiful pictures that you've got here. It really makes you feel like you're in a world that isn't connected like we are right now, and it gives you a sense of relief, and with all this nature, I mean, I just feel like there's weight off of my shoulders just looking at these pictures and going, I can only imagine just being here for a few days just to recharge my batteries, and really just feel the absolute wellness of nature.
Exactly. If you ask me, it's probably the most beautiful part in Bolivia for me in this case.
Yeah, and that's awesome. So while the country itself is off the beaten path for many Americans, here's an opportunity for you to even experience more off the beaten path within the country. And so, we talked earlier about just driving bicycling on the salt path. And here you have an amazing picture of showing this.
Yeah, I mean, off the beaten path in general, Bolivia, if you compare it to other countries, it is a country for such activities. I mean, every tour we try to give the passengers the best experience, the best possible experience. And we have to avoid a little bit the other tourists. Is better for us, you know.
Of course.
Biking on the salt flats is something like not many do. The other picture was also around around Santa Cruz, the Jesuit missions. But there are some places where you won't find any tourists, you know, and you will be alone, and that's the beautiful about the country.
Yeah, and here we have a picture of a destination wedding during rainy season.
Exactly. I thought it was nice to put this picture on the presentation, you know.
Absolutely, and I do a lot of destination weddings. So for you guys who are really looking for that unique destination wedding option, This is awesome. I mean, nowhere else are you going to find this kind of scenery, and you're going to have all of that social distancing because it's not crowded, and it's really just going to be you and your loved ones, and it's going to be an opportunity of a lifetime, really, to create these memories that nobody else is going to ever copy on. So it's you're unique and one of a kind.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So obviously we talk about wellness quite a bit. And so here is going to be some options where you guys are actually going to be able to see some resorts that you're going to find where you're going to see a lot of the places that are actually up to par for what we're used to in 4 or 5 star levels here in the US. So, and you, of course, we're going to be, some of them are going to be on the lake, or some of them are going to be in the salt flats, but you'll have a great opportunity just to kind of get a good feel for what's out there. And hospitality is awesome.
That's correct. I mean, if you're looking only at the hospitality in terms of 5-star hotels, you will find those mainly on the biggest cities, Santa Cruz, La Paz. But wellness in general, I mean, includes other type of activities also. I mean, this lodge, Eco Lodge La Estancia on Titicaca Lake, Sun Island, it belongs to us, actually. So,
that's awesome. So it's actually it's your property. It's completely managed. And so it's really simple if you guys wanted to do maybe a buyout. So like if it's just you and your family and friends and you wanted all that privacy, we absolutely can arrange all of those moving pieces.
Or if you're looking to do a yoga retreat, for example. I mean,
yes, absolutely.
And you have these views over the lake, over the Andes. I mean, it is a magical place.
Yep. And not only that, but then you get, you really get an opportunity just to grab in all of that wellness. So here's another property in the Uni Salt Flats. Again, you can see, the property is upgraded. So you have a lot of the luxuries that we're accustomed to as Americans.
Exactly. And the special one about this one is actually it is made out of salt. If you see like the ceiling is like an igloo type with salt bricks. The beds are made out of salt. The walls are made out of salt. So it is a really interesting place. I mean, if you're coming all the way to Bolivia to Uni, why don't you stay in a salt hotel? It is really beautiful. And these hotels upgraded in the past few years. And this one, Palacio de Sal, they have also a beautiful spa. So why don't you stay a couple of nights? No?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to be in the spa with, in the salt flats, just, again, recharging your batteries, doing something a little differently, and having that breath of, oh my God, I can actually breathe. I'm not, you're not fully quarantined or anything along those lines. It's not restrictive because you really don't have a lot of people around you. So, so it's really an opportunity for you to, again, explore and just feel that innerness, that true wellness from within.
And this hotel, they have also a lithium therapy, for example. So you have dry sauna, you have humid sauna, but you have also lithium therapy, which is really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we come over into these luxury domes, and where you can stargaze on the salt flats or on the water.
That's correct. I mean, this Cachi Lodge is the name. It's a really new product. Perhaps June last year, 1 year old.
Awesome.
You see the hotel, well, in this picture, the lodge is built on a platform, because when it's rainy season, so the water won't go inside the domes, But this lodge has a beautiful telescope where you can see, the stars. I mean, it is really beautiful, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. And this is what it looks like on the inside, right?
Correct. This is one of the domes. Yeah.
So, and you can see the beautifulness outside. That's awesome. So now we're moving on because it is everybody's favorite piece of eating because everybody wants to know what's local, what's good.
Yeah.
And so here we're going to have an opportunity for you to share with us all of the good stuff about food and everything else. So talk to us. What is this picture of?
I mean, gastronomy in general, many people always ask me which is the national dish, but it's impossible to say because on the lowlands you have plenty of dishes, on the valleys, on the highlands. So there isn't actually a national dish, You have street food, which is really delicious and all the passengers want to try out. You have picture, you have well-renowned restaurants. This one was selected in 2015, I believe, within number 14, within the best restaurants in Latin America, for example. The name is Gusto, this restaurant. So we have been improving our gastronomy in the past few years, which is also great. But it is hard to say what's my favorite dish, but I do like these salteñas. So you're looking at the picture.
Yes.
It's like an empanada, but it has more juice inside.
And what's inside?
It depends on the empanada, but these ones are made out of meat. I mean, they have a little bit of meat, potato, egg, and they're all mixed up in a juice.
So it's a meal in itself.
Exactly. I mean, if you eat 2 or 3, it's like having lunch. But locals, they usually eat this snack between 10 and 11 in the morning.
Okay. Something just to sustain you, to keep you going. It's awesome.
Exactly. And it's really delicious.
Yeah. So now we're moving on and we're taking a look at the what you call here atapi? Atapi. Okay.
Exactly.
And so tell us a little bit about this.
Atapi is actually a meal from the highlands where the locals share what they have at their homes. I mean, for example, me and my family will take to this atapi potatoes. Perhaps the other family will take chicken or fava beans or whatever, no? So you share everything with the community. And this is a type luxury atapi we create on the saltflats, so the people can enjoy that whilst in the middle of the saltflats.
That is awesome. So kind of your own buffet, your own, and it's typical, right? Because it's all of the local foods. So really great. So, and here's some other pictures so you can see a little bit closer in terms of what the offerings actually are. It's kind of like a little bit of a potluck of what we call here in the States. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have a little bit of everything,
Yeah, but imagine just having, an event catered on the salt flats just for you. There's nobody else here. It's just you guys.
And this is a picture during sunset. No? This is like a luxury sunset cocktail, where you have wines, you have also champagne, you have juices, you have cold food like ham, cheese, you have also warm food. You have people serving it for you, I mean, it is really amazing and an amazing experience.
Yes, absolutely. So we're coming obviously back to the end of our presentation, where here's where we're going to be talking a little bit more about where you can do just a Bolivia trip or have a combination with multiple countries. Now, I work with Condor. And they also work in all of the different South American countries. So we can create something together, or I can help, put a lot of the moving pieces depending on what you want to include. So everything can be customized, but we're just going to give you a little bit of a sample of different types of opportunities here.
Exactly. I mean, mainly it's Peru, Bolivia. I just rounded up the borders we use the most. Also with the northern part of Chile or Argentina, or as I was saying, with Brazil, with the Pantanal,
Yes, but of course.
If you're planning a 2-week holiday only to Bolivia, the way to go is like this slide is showing. I mean, you start in Santa Cruz. We talked about the Santa Cruz has more direct international flights,
Yes.
so, and it's located at 400 meters only. From Santa Cruz, you fly to Sucre. Sucre is at 2,800, and then you continue to the highlands. More or less a little bit appreciating or visiting some of the pictures we've shown in the presentation. And you end the trip in La Paz.
Yeah, and that's super awesome. And that'll give you a great flavor of not only the cultural immersion, but also of the nature and again, untouched beauty. There's so much out there and so much to experience that only Bolivia can give you. And I look forward to working with you as well as with the folks in Condor to help make my clients' itineraries super amazing.
No, of course. I mean, as you were saying, 90% of the things we do is tailor-made at the end, because some of them want big hotels, some of them don't want to walk or hike a lot. The other ones they do. You can only Uyuni or you can include lagoons. I mean, we're happy to arrange the perfect journey that your travelers want to spend in Bolivia.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to share this. I mean, I think this is an awesome opportunity. Again, it's an off the beaten path country, and certainly a great way for us to explore and learn about all the moving pieces. Again, you don't need a visa; you just need a valid passport. So once Bolivia and of course our level 4 opens up, we're going to be able to go and explore. And so it's really great to start planning and putting a trip together. It'll be a trip of a lifetime. That's for sure.
That's for sure. And we're happy to help with that.
So awesome. Sebastian, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. This has been amazing. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we wrap up?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, we could be talking about Bolivia several hours, And what I do assure you is if you're coming to Bolivia, you will have the trip of your life. That's for sure. In terms of what we talked, off the beaten path, culture, the nature is beautiful, gastronomy. I mean, you will have a full package exploring different things.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And obviously memories to last a lifetime. So with that, thank you again very much.
You're
Namaste.
welcome.
Until the next time. Bye, everybody.